In a world overflowing with noise, distraction, and endless comparison, true peace has become rare treasure. Every day we wake to a flood of expectations. What to achieve, how to look, who to become. Yet somewhere within that storm, there is a quieter voice calling us home. It whispers that happiness does not come from control over the world, but from mastery over ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Those words are not decoration, they are instruction. Because when your thoughts are calm, your world becomes calm. When your thoughts are disciplined, your life gains direction. The outer chaos may remain, but within, you begin to find a still point, a peace no one can take. This philosophy is not ancient dust on a library shelf. It is a living art for modern life. Stoicism teaches resilience, gratitude, clarity, and purpose. It helps us rise when the world tries to bury us, and to smile when life tests our patience. What follows are 12 Stoic principles, timeless strategies for living with intention, serenity, and strength. Each one is a key to self-mastery, a guide to transforming your mornings, your relationships, and your sense of meaning. Read slowly, reflect deeply, and remember, wisdom is not learned once, it is practiced daily. Let's begin. Rule 1. Guard the quality of your thoughts. Everything begins in the mind. Every emotion you feel, every decision you make, every triumph and downfall, all of it is born from the invisible roots of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius knew this truth deeply. "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," he wrote, "not as poetry, but as a command. For if your inner world is chaotic, your outer world will mirror it." The Stoics understood that peace is not something you stumble upon. It is something you cultivate. The world may spin, storms may rage, people may disappoint you, yet the one thing always within your control is your judgment. It's the lens through which you see the world, and that lens determines everything. Begin to observe your thoughts as a watcher, not a participant. Don't rush to believe every idea that crosses your mind. When anger arises, pause and ask, "Does this serve me or enslave me?" When fear whispers, ask, "Is this rational or just noise?" The Stoic mind is not empty, it's disciplined. It does not chase every passing emotion like a leaf in the wind. It stands firm, watching, evaluating, understanding. Train your thoughts daily as you would train a muscle. Replace self-criticism with self-command. Instead of thinking, "Thus, why is this happening to me?" shift to, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of, "I'm failing," think, "I am growing." This isn't blind optimism, it's intelligent resilience. You are not ignoring the negative, you are transforming it into something useful. And remember this, the mind becomes what it repeatedly consumes. Garbage in, garbage out, so be ruthless about what you feed it. What do you read? What do you watch? Whose voices echo in your thoughts? Every input shapes the garden of your mind. Pull the weeds, gossip, fear, envy, comparison, and plant seeds of strength, gratitude, and focus. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, disease, and yet his writings radiate calm and dignity. Why? Because he mastered the battlefield that mattered most, the one inside. The moment you start mastering your thoughts, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your destiny. Your task today is simple but not easy. Pay attention to what you think. Guard your inner citadel. When you control your mind, you control your world. Rule 2. Discover your ikigai, your reason for being. There's a quiet fire that lives within every person, a reason for waking, a purpose that makes life meaningful. The Japanese call it ikigai. It is the intersection where your passions, your skills, the world's needs, and your livelihood meet. It's the reason you get out of bed with energy instead of dread. Marcus Aurelius might not have known the word ikigai, but he lived it. He believed that every human being was designed to fulfill a unique role within the greater order of the universe. Do every act of your life, he wrote, as though it were your last. In other words, live with purpose. To discover your ikigai, you must first listen to yourself. Not the loud external world, but the quiet inner voice that tells you what feels right. Ask yourself, what activities make time disappear for me? What am I naturally drawn toward, even when no one is watching? What value can I bring to others through what I love? Don't expect the answer overnight. Ikigai is uncovered, not invented. It reveals itself as you explore life honestly, through curiosity, patience, and courage. Follow what sparks curiosity, even slightly. Each experience teaches you what fulfills you and what drains you. Over time, a pattern emerges. That pattern is your path. But purpose alone is not enough. It must meet reality. The Stoics warned against empty idealism. They believed philosophy must be lived. So take your ikigai and ground it in daily action. Let it shape your schedule, your goals, your work ethic. Even the smallest task can become sacred when connected to your greater purpose. And remember, your ikigai doesn't have to be grand. It might not be building empires or saving the world. It could be raising a kind child, crafting art, teaching with integrity, or serving others quietly but wholeheartedly. Stoicism teaches that greatness is not in scale, but in sincerity. When you find your ikigai, mornings transform. You no longer drag yourself into the day. You rise into it. Fatigue fades because you are aligned. Fear diminishes because you have direction. Even suffering becomes bearable because it now has meaning. So reflect tonight. What could make you leap out of bed tomorrow with purpose? What work, what act, what service would make you proud of the life you're living? Start there. The path will reveal itself as you walk. Rule 3. Prepare for tomorrow. Tonight, most people start their morning when the alarm rings. The Stoic starts the night before, because the quality of your tomorrow is built in the quiet decisions you make before you sleep. Think of evening not as an ending, but as a reset. It's when you clear the dust of the day, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and prepare the mind for renewal. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his meditations each night, reviewing what he had done, where he had faltered, and what he could improve. He didn't do this to punish himself, but to grow wiser with each day. You can do the same. Before you close your eyes, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I improve tomorrow? Write the answers down. This 5-minute ritual transforms chaos into clarity. It also trains your brain to rest with peace instead of regret. Equally important, how you treat your body before sleep. Modern life encourages us to scroll endlessly, to keep our minds buzzing under blue light until exhaustion wins. But the Stoic seeks harmony, not overstimulation. Turn off your screens an hour before bed. Read something that feeds the soul. Breathe deeply. Meditate, pray, or simply sit in silence. Let the day's noise fade until only your heartbeat remains. This is not weakness. It is preparation for strength. Sleep is the foundation of self-control, focus, and calm. To neglect it is to sabotage your own potential. Next, plan your priorities. Don't leave your mind wandering in the morning asking, what should I do first? Instead, decide tonight. Choose 3 key tasks that will move you closer to your goals. Write them down. When you wake, there is no hesitation, only execution. The Stoics also taught detachment from what lies beyond control. If something troubled you today, a rude person, a failed task, an uncertain future, consciously let it go before sleep. Say to yourself, this is beyond me now, and release it. You'll wake lighter, Your evening is the bridge between who you were today and who you can become tomorrow. Treat it with care. Every night is an opportunity to reset, to learn, and to prepare your inner citadel for the battles and beauties of a new dawn. Rule 4. Awaken with intention. The first moment after you wake is sacred. The Stoics saw dawn not just as the start of another day, but as a personal rebirth, a chance to realign with reason and virtue before the noise of the world begins. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. That simple line holds immense power. When you rise each morning with purpose, you are not just waking the body, you are awakening the soul. The alarm clock becomes a call to meaning, not misery. Before you even reach for your phone, take a breath. Feel the weight of your body, the air entering your lungs, the quiet of your room. In that moment, nothing external has touched you yet. You are completely free, a blank page. What you choose to fill it with will shape the entire day. So instead of rushing, take your time. Stretch. Whisper a thought of gratitude. I woke up. I am alive. I have another chance. This tiny pause builds awareness, and awareness builds strength. The Stoics were warriors of the mind. They began their mornings not with distractions, but with discipline. They visualized the challenges ahead, difficult people, delays, disappointments, and reminded themselves that none of these could truly harm them unless they allowed it. This practice, called premeditatio malorum, prepared them to stay calm under pressure. Try this tomorrow. Before stepping into your routine, imagine your day unfolding. Someone may criticize you. A plan may fail. You may feel tired or stressed. And yet through it all you remain grounded, dignified, and rational. You can't control what comes, but you can always control your response. Then, feed your mind before the world does. Read a page of something that sharpens your soul. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, or even your own journal. Let wisdom be your first meal of the day. Avoid beginning your day in reaction. When you check your messages, emails, or social media first, you surrender your mental state to others' agendas. But when you begin with reflection, breath, or silence, you claim your day as your own. To awaken with intention means to decide, today I will live consciously, not drifting, not reacting, but directing. Each sunrise becomes your silent promise to be present, to meet the day, not with panic, but with poise. The way you start your morning is the way you live your life, with focus or distraction, with purpose or passivity. Choose purpose. Rule 5. Build consistency and discipline. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. They didn't preach fleeting motivation. They practiced unwavering consistency, the daily repetition of right action, even when it wasn't glamorous, even when no one was watching. Marcus Aurelius didn't always feel like ruling Rome. Seneca didn't always feel inspired to write. Epictetus, born a slave, didn't always feel strong. But they all understood. Feelings are weather. Discipline is climate. To live with discipline is to stop negotiating with excuses. It means doing what must be done because it aligns with your principles, not because you feel like it. Consistency is not punishment. It is freedom. When you wake up at the same time, exercise your mind and body. Honor your commitments and keep your word. You remove chaos from your life. You replace uncertainty with order. Start small. The Stoics loved simplicity. Make your bed each morning. Prepare your tasks the night before. Stick to one small habit that improves your mind. Journaling, reading, meditating. Don't chase intensity. Chase continuity. Discipline is not about being harsh. It's about being loyal to your higher self. When you fail, don't quit. The Stoics never saw failure as defeat. They saw it as feedback. You miss a day? Fine, begin again. The virtue lies not in perfection, but in persistence. And here's the paradox. The more disciplined you become, the freer you feel. Why? Because you no longer depend on mood or motivation to act. You've trained yourself to move forward regardless. You've built a mind that obeys reason, not impulses. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Discipline is that realization in motion. It's the daily proof that you are stronger than circumstance, stronger than laziness, stronger than fear. Every morning you choose structure over chaos. You cast a vote for the kind of person you wish to be. The Stoic knows that identity is not declared. It is earned through repetition. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. Do it until it becomes your nature. Rule 6. Practice self-compassion. The Stoic ideal is not perfection. It is progress guided by wisdom. Too many mistake Stoicism for coldness, for emotionless rigidity. But true Stoicism carries warmth, patience, and profound humanity. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome and one of the greatest Stoic minds, filled his meditations with gentle reminders to forgive himself, to try again, to be patient with his own flaws. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive and to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Hidden in that line is compassion. For life, for others, and for oneself. Self-compassion is strength, not softness. It allows you to recover from failure without bitterness. It keeps you in the game when shame wants you to quit. The Stoic learns from mistakes instead of drowning in them. Think about it. If you spoke to a friend the way you sometimes speak to yourself, would that friend stay? The Stoic mind recognizes that harsh self-criticism doesn't build discipline, it breaks it. Instead, observe your faults like a scientist, not a judge. Ask, why did I act this way? And what can I do better next time? That's all you need. Reflection replaces regret. Self-compassion doesn't mean making excuses. It means staying rational in moments of weakness. It means understanding that growth is uneven, that virtue takes time, and that failing once doesn't erase the progress you've made. Forgive, learn, adjust, and continue. Seneca once said, "Oh, we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Often, the hardest battle we fight is against the image of who we think we should already be. The Stoic accepts himself as a work in progress, unfinished but improving. When you slip, sleep late, lose focus, fall into anger, don't collapse under guilt. Pause, reflect, recommit. Remember, even emperors had off days. The Stoic journey is not linear. It's a spiral. You revisit lessons until they sink into your soul. Self-compassion keeps the fire of progress burning. Without it, discipline becomes cruelty. With it, discipline becomes art. So be kind to yourself. You're not weak, you're human. And to be human is to keep trying again and again until effort itself becomes peace. Rule 7. Honor small acts of order. Greatness is not built in one sweeping motion. It is assembled quietly, brick by brick, through the smallest acts of consistency. The Stoics knew this well. They believed that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Every small act of order in your day is a reflection of the order within your mind. When you make your bed, tidy your desk, or wash a cup with care, you're not just cleaning a surface, you're sharpening your spirit. You're telling yourself, I respect my space and I respect myself. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to perform every task, no matter how mundane, as if it held cosmic importance. Because in truth it does. The smallest duty done with full attention trains the mind for larger challenges. It builds discipline, precision, and awareness, qualities that ripple through every aspect of life. We live in an age that glorifies the grand gesture, the massive breakthrough, the viral success, the sudden transformation. But the Stoic path rejects that illusion. It whispers, pay attention to the small, because the small is where your power lives. When you sweep the floor, you are mastering patience. When you cook your meal mindfully, you are practicing gratitude. When you speak kindly, even in irritation, you are exercising self-control. Order is not perfectionism. It's a relationship with reality, a choice to bring harmony to chaos, not to demand that chaos disappear. Your environment mirrors your mind. If your desk is buried in clutter, chances are your thoughts are too. So clear a space, light a candle, arrange your tools with intention as you bring clarity to your surroundings. Your inner voice grows quieter, steadier, stronger. These small rituals are your daily meditation, making your bed, brushing your teeth, writing your to-do list. Each is a ceremony of consciousness, and the beauty of these habits is that they are available to everyone, every day. No matter your status or struggle, you can always begin by bringing order to what's in front of you. Seneca wrote, "A well-ordered mind is a sign of a well-ordered life." And the opposite is also true. When you cultivate order in your external world, your internal world follows. Don't overlook these tiny victories. They are the quiet proof that you are capable of self-mastery. A kingdom is built stone by stone. A Stoic life is built act by act. So start small and keep building. Rule 8. Seek companionship in growth. Even the strongest mind needs connection. Stoicism is often misunderstood as isolation, a lone philosopher sitting in silence, detached from the world. But Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all cherished friendship as an essential part of virtue. They knew that iron sharpens iron, that wisdom grows best in the company of others who strive for the same. Seneca wrote letters to his friend Lucilius, guiding him, encouraging him, challenging him. These letters became timeless, not because they were grand speeches, but because they were honest exchanges between two people committed to becoming better. In the same way, you need allies in your journey, people who remind you of your higher self when you forget it, who challenge your excuses without cruelty, who listen not just to respond, but to understand. This is your accountability circle, your chosen tribe. In today's world, loneliness has become an epidemic. We have connection without closeness, attention without understanding. But true companionship isn't about constant contact, it's about shared direction. Two people walking separate paths toward the same mountain, encouraging each other when the climb gets steep. Find someone who values growth more than comfort. Someone who speaks truth even when it stings. Someone who celebrates your victories sincerely and mourns your losses quietly but deeply. And be that person for them in return. The Stoics believed that friendship was a mirror. Through it, we see ourselves more clearly. Your friends' virtues awaken your own, and their flaws remind you of your own humanity. When you have an accountability partner, your goals stop living only in your head. They become part of something larger. When you promise another soul that you will show up, to read, to rise early, to face fear, you turn discipline into devotion, Marcus Aurelius, often expressed gratitude for the teachers, mentors, and companions who shaped his character. He credited his wisdom not to solitude, but to those who guided him. Even emperors need reminders, so don't walk the path alone. Growth may be personal, but it doesn't have to be solitary. Seek fellowship not for comfort, but for refinement. Surround yourself with people who demand your greatness, not through pressure, but through example. The Stoic doesn't isolate, he elevates and is elevated in return. Rule 9, remember mortality each morning. You could leave life right now, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Few lines in history carry more truth than this. The awareness of death is not meant to depress you, it's meant to awaken you. The Stoics called it memento mori, the practice of remembering that life is fleeting, fragile, and uncertain. Most people live as if they'll live forever, delaying dreams, avoiding truth, wasting days. But the Stoic faces mortality head-on and finds freedom in it. Because when you remember that time is finite, you stop wasting it on what doesn't matter. Imagine waking each morning and whispering to yourself, I may not have this day again. Suddenly you move slower, but with more presence. You listen fully, love deeply, forgive faster. The trivial fades and what matters, truly matters, becomes clear. Death teaches urgency, but also serenity. It reminds you that control is an illusion, that every argument, every worry, every resentment is dust compared to the miracle of being alive today. When you hold this awareness gently, not morbidly, you start to live with precision. You choose words more carefully, you treat others with more grace, you take your responsibilities seriously because you know they are temporary gifts. This practice doesn't make life darker, it makes it brighter. Every sunset becomes precious, every meal becomes sacred, every small act becomes meaningful. Marcus didn't dwell on death to mourn it, he used it as a compass. When faced with decisions, he asked himself, if I were to die soon, would this choice honor who I want to be? That question cuts through confusion faster than any other. Try it yourself. Before leaving home, pause for a moment. Feel the pulse in your wrist, the air in your lungs, the impermanence of it all. Then whisper gratitude, not fear. You are alive. You have this day. That's everything. The Stoics weren't obsessed with dying. They were obsessed with living rightly. To remember death is to remember life. Fully, vividly, urgently. So when you wake tomorrow, do it as if the universe has handed you a rare, irreplaceable gift. Because it has. Rule 10. Practice negative visualization. The Stoics had a secret mental discipline known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of misfortune. It was their way of toughening the soul before life's inevitable blows. To modern ears, it might sound pessimistic. Why picture bad things happening? But in truth, it is the deepest form of optimism, because it turns fear into readiness and surprise into composure. Imagine, before you begin your day, taking a quiet moment to foresee the obstacles that might await you, the missed opportunity, the harsh word, the sudden loss. Picture them clearly, feel the sting, then imagine yourself responding with calm, courage, and grace. In doing so, you train your mind the way a soldier trains his reflexes. When adversity arrives, it no longer shatters you. It merely meets a mind that has already rehearsed serenity. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all taught that this practice strips fortune of her power. By facing the worst in thought, we free ourselves from the tyranny of surprise. When you have already accepted that loss and pain exist, they can no longer enslave you. You are no longer the fragile passenger of circumstance. You are the captain of perception. This exercise also amplifies gratitude. When you imagine losing what you love, you learn to cherish it fiercely. The warmth of your friend's voice, the presence of your parents, the health of your body, even the simple light of morning, all become radiant when you realize they are not owed to you. The Stoic who contemplates loss learns how rich he already is. To practice negative visualization, find a few minutes in the early morning or at night. Close your eyes and let your mind wander through potential trials. Ask, what if tomorrow I faced hardship? What if I had to begin again? Would I still have the strength to be kind, patient, and just? Answer honestly, then open your eyes with gratitude for all that remains intact. You will discover that this is not a dark meditation. It is a discipline of light. You will begin to live with less fear because you have already befriended uncertainty. You will find that every ordinary moment begins to shimmer with value because you finally see its impermanence. Rule 11, end each day with gratitude. As the sun descends and silence gathers, the Stoic closes the circle of the day not with anxiety, but with appreciation. Gratitude is not mere politeness, it is spiritual clarity. It reminds us that every breath, every encounter, every struggle overcome is a small miracle. Seneca advised ending each day with self-examination. What have I done today? What have I done well? What could I have done better? To this, the modern Stoic adds one more question. What am I grateful for? Write your answers. A single sentence is enough. The act of writing is the act of noticing, and noticing is the beginning of joy. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, the world changes shape. The noise of envy and comparison fades, and you begin to see abundance everywhere. A glass of water after a long walk, a conversation that made you laugh, the roof that kept you dry. None of these are small. They are life itself. Gratitude also heals the mind of resentment. You cannot be thankful and bitter at the same time. You cannot dwell on what went wrong while sincerely acknowledging what went right. By giving thanks, you reclaim your perspective. Make it a ritual. Before bed, turn away from the glowing screen. Sit in quiet light and breathe. Replay the day not as a critic but as a student. If you failed, be grateful for the lesson. If you succeeded, be grateful for the strength that allowed it. If you simply endured, be grateful that you endured. Over time, gratitude rewires the mind. It softens harshness, deepens patience, and builds a quiet confidence that life, even in its trials, is worth living. When you wake the next morning, you will carry that peace with you. The Stoic thanks the night for rest, the morning for renewal, and the universe for the privilege of participation. Gratitude turns ordinary existence into sacred practice. Rule 12, live each day as a practice in virtue. All the rules converge here. Every act of discipline, every breath of awareness, every moment of gratitude exists for this single purpose, to live with virtue. For the Stoic, virtue means harmony with reason and nature, to think clearly, to act justly, to speak honestly, to endure bravely, and to serve selflessly. These are not lofty ideals to admire. They are muscles to exercise daily. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet reminded himself each dawn that he too must live as a student of virtue, patient with fools, fair with enemies, compassionate toward the weak, and strict only with himself. Virtue was his anchor amid chaos, and it can be yours. To practice virtue is to bring philosophy down from the clouds into the marketplace of daily life. It means answering irritation with calm, temptation with restraint, and cruelty with dignity. It means remembering that the goal is not to appear wise, but to be useful. Every conversation, Every choice, every thought becomes an opportunity to practice who you wish to be. You will fail. Everyone does. But failure to the Stoic is simply another teacher. Each time you notice yourself drifting from your principles and return to them, you strengthen the bridge between intention and action. That return, that willingness to realign, is the essence of the Stoic path. Virtue also demands service. The Stoic life is not about escaping the world, but improving it. Help where you can. Teach what you know. Uplift others without expecting reward. Remember, you are part of a larger order. As the hand exists for the body, you exist for the whole of humanity. When you live virtuously, peace follows naturally. You no longer need praise, because your conscience is your reward. You no longer fear death, because you have lived rightly, and you no longer chase happiness, because it walks beside you in every act of integrity. When the sun lowers and the world begins to dim, something powerful happens. The noise fades, the rush dissolves, and you are left alone with the quiet truth of who you really are. The Stoics cherished this time. They knew that when the world finally stops demanding, your soul begins speaking. And in that stillness, a single question rises. Did I live today with intention, with virtue, with courage? Every sunrise is an invitation to begin. Every sunset is a reminder to reflect. Between the two lies your life, shaped moment by moment, choice by choice, thought by thought. The Stoic path isn't built on dramatic transformation. It is built on quiet mastery, slowly crafted through daily discipline. A gentle sculpting of your character, your habits, and your inner world. You don't need to control everything, only yourself. And that is enough to change everything. Remember, you are not a victim of fate, nor a passenger drifting through life. You are the architect of your own mind. Your thoughts are your tools. Your values are your map. Your actions are the brushstrokes painting the portrait of your character. Others may never see what you build internally, but you will. Every night, when the world falls silent, you face the truth of the life you're crafting. Yes, there will be storms. Yes, there will be struggle. But even in the darkest hours, you can choose your response. The Stoic doesn't reject emotion. He redirects it. Anger becomes discipline. Fear becomes attention. Pain becomes wisdom. This is the alchemy of the soul, turning raw experience into inner strength. Protect your inner world with intention. Let no bitterness enter. Let no envy poison you. Let no gossip distract. You fill your internal space with calm, gratitude, patience, clarity, not because life is easy, but because your peace is your power. When confusion presses in, return to the simplest Stoic question: what is within my control and what is not? This is the doorway to freedom, to clarity, to unshakable calm. You don't need certainty. You don't need perfect conditions. You only need mastery over your own thoughts, judgments, and actions. Be the steady presence in a chaotic world. Speak with intention. Act with virtue. Forgive quickly. Listen deeply. Rise after every fall. When you live like this, happiness stops being something you chase. It becomes something you embody. Peace becomes a natural state. Not something found at the end of the journey, but something felt in every step, taken with virtue. And as this reflection comes to a close, hold on to this truth. Wisdom grows when it is shared. Your transformation can spark someone else's. If these words brought you calm, strength, or direction, carry that feeling into your own life. Share it with someone who needs it. Let your actions and presence become a quiet reminder that inner peace is still possible in this world. And if you believe in the message of Stoicism, if you want to build a stronger, clearer, calmer mind, then join us on this path. Subscribe to the Calm Stoic to grow with a community committed to wisdom and resilience. Like this video if it grounded you, even for a moment. Share your reflection in the comments. Your words may be the light someone else is looking for. We're not just making videos, we're building a sanctuary, a circle of people who choose reason over chaos, purpose over distraction, virtue over comfort. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing growth. Thank you for choosing calm in a noisy world. Your mornings begin with clarity. May your days unfold with purpose, and may your nights end in gratitude. And when the world grows dark, remember, you carry the light inside you. Until next time, stay steady, stay resilient, and keep walking the path of virtue. This is the Calm Stoic.